Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Morning Brief. It is January 14th, Monday. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. Looking at coin market cap for the overall market cap, we are almost at $119 billion. The 24-hour volume has fallen since Friday. We went down about $5 billion since Friday. It now stands at a little bit above $16 billion. Looking at the top 10, we are seeing some red, a few percentages between 2 and 4.5 or so percent, except for Tron, of course, it is at 6.01% in the green. Looking at the top 10, looking at the top 3 gainers in the past 24 hours, we have R at 21.66%, Waves at 7.91%, and of course Tron at 6.01%. Let's jump right into Bitcoin, and a Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. We have currently the price action is above the 9 EMA. We had this drop here over the weekend, and we've been struggling to get on top of that 9 EMA and hold it. We've been coming up above it, then below it, and currently the price action is technically above it, and we're getting rejected at the moment by the 30 EMA. We had a little bit of a breakout here, and we were rejected at the 50 EMA, came right back down here to the 9, and currently you can see here where we're trying to approach the 30 EMA, but this doesn't look like there's a lot of volume here, so more than likely we're going to get rejected on that 30 EMA. The indicators on these smaller time frames are not looking bad. If you look at the MACD, it's got a bullish uptick here. It's still on the bearish side of the oscillators, but nevertheless, it is pointing in the right direction for a move to the upside. The RSI is reflecting the latest candle, so you have a nice uptick on there. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, the indicators are also, pointing to had a nice bullish crossover here, way below here in the bearish side of the oscillator, so plenty of room to the upside. We are down here in the oversold territory in the 4 hour time frame, but we are having a lot of trouble on this 4 hour time frame to pass the 9 EMA. We have been unable to crack the 9 EMA and close successfully above the 9. The volume lately in the past, 8-16, about 20 hours or so, is diminishing some, except for this candlestick that's the current candlestick, and it has actually 30 minutes left for this volume bar here to complete, and so far it's a little bit higher than the preceding bearish volume bar. So I'm hoping that we can close here and continue to the upside. Now this pattern is a little bit dangerous here. This does look like a bear flag, so we want to be very, very cautious on this pattern here. We do have this area here, resistance, that we definitely have to break. But first, let's try to break the 9 EMA. We need to break and close successfully above the 9 EMA, and now we have the resistance and the 30 EMA coming down on this resistance lines that we're going to need to break to really start seeing some bullish upward momentum. So those are two things there to look at on the 4 hour time frame. The 1 day time frame is not looking as good. We have a bearish crossover here on the 1 day time frame. You can see the RSI is sitting at 41 points, and it does have a bullish uptick representing the current candle state. Now, we did break out of this wedge to the downside. We have these areas here of support. If the volume does not come in and the higher time frames don't start to turn around into a more bullish stance, we're going to continue this further breakdown. But so far, like I mentioned before, the smaller time frames are looking a little bit better. So we'll just have to wait and see how today plays out. Looking at Ethereum, looks very similar to Bitcoin, as it does follow Bitcoin's price action, and the MACD on the 1 hour time frame looks very similar to Bitcoin. It does have a bullish uptick, and it is below the bearish side of the oscillator, so plenty of room for the upside. The RSI is sitting at 41 points with a current uptick. The volume, however, is not very impressive. I don't like the volume, the way it's diminishing here. It is falling below the 9 EMA. Well, actually, currently is above the 9 EMA. The candlestick did open below the 9 EMA, but it is currently sitting above it. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of follow through here. So more than likely, we're going to fall again below that 9 EMA. So we definitely have to get some liquidity into the market to really cross that. Same kind of story here with LTC. LTC was able to break above, open above the 9 EMA, but was rejected by the 30, as you can see here, as it has in the past maybe 5, 6, 7 hours or so. We're getting rejected. Now, it did have a move here to the upside, but it was rejected, like Bitcoin was right here at the 50, came back down to the 9. However, as of late, the 30 EMA has been its rejection point. Looking at the MACD and RSI, very similar to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Looking at let me close this alert here. Looking at Tron, however, Tron, very, very strong gainer here. Over the weekend, it went up about 10%. I know Justin Sun did some sort of tweet and caused a price action really to surge here. However, we did get smacked down by that 200 EMA. You know, I talk a lot about the 9 EMA, and I talk a lot about the 200 EMA. Very, very strong EMA for support and also for resistance. As you can see here, when we collapsed after this big price surge, we came back all the way down to the 200. We bounced off the 200. We came back down to the 200. We bounced once again. When we finally lost it, we were now using it as a rejection point. And you can see here a perfect rejection off the 100 and the 200 EMA. So this is going to take a lot of volume to come in to really break through those two EMAs. However, we are still in a downtrend. If you really zoom out here on Tron, you look a little bit in the higher time frames, you can still see this is a clear downtrend. So just be very, very careful. Even though we got this bullish news, just looking at the 4 hour, we are still underneath that 9 EMA. We haven't actually closed above the 9 EMA. The MACD, however, does look promising. It had a reversal here on the indicator on the MACD, turning bullish. RSI also in a good spot, 42 points, also with an uptick representing this candle. But a lot of this here could just be the big surge of volume that came in yesterday. So just be careful on taking this position. I would wait for a clear break above the 9 EMA on the 4 hour time frame before thinking about taking a position, because like I mentioned before, look at this, guys. We're still in a downtrend. We're still underneath that 9 EMA. Looking at NEO had a nice move to the upside this past hour. RSI starting to turn bullish. MACD starting to turn bullish. The RSI is at 63 points with a nice uptick, nice volume coming in. We were rejected here by the 100 MA. So currently we are sitting above the 50 EMA. Now, if you look to the left, the 50 EMA has been a strong area of support and rejection. So it would be really nice to close this candle in the next 22 minutes above the 50 EMA and hopefully find some support above the 50 EMA before it makes another move up. I'm going to cover some alts only because they're looking a little bullish here as far as the indicators are concerned. So looking at Icon, had a nice move up to, and was rejected on the 50, just like we just finished seeing with NEO. Nice uptick on the RSI and a nice uptick on the MACD. So some of these are starting to get a little bit of life in them. As far as the indicators are concerned, look at that nice little jump right now as we are recording on Icon. Looking at XLM, it's been playing very well on these gap lines here. Currently, we are sitting below the 9 EMA, and the MACD does not look very good. Just had a bearish crossover, so I would be very careful with XLM at the moment. Looks like Icon and NEO are looking much, much better than XLM at the moment. Bitcoin Cash ABC is sitting below the 9 EMA. It does have a nice uptick on the RSI representing the latest candle, and the MACD just started turning bullish. So keep an eye on that, guys. We're still on the bearish side of the oscillators, plenty of room for the upside, and it is a small move, but nevertheless, it is a bullish move. Now, you want to keep your eyes on this. The volume is diminishing here, so we need to see this volume bar here increase in size get a little bit higher than these previous volume bars, which would take the price action above the 9 EMA and hopefully close above the 9 EMA and maintain that support before moving to the upside. So I would wait for a confirmation here above the 9 EMA if you want to take a position on this, and also keep your eye on Bitcoin as well for confirmation. Looking at Bitcoin Cash SV, very, very similar to ABC as far as the MACD, the RSI, and look at the volume. Same story here. Volume is diminishing. So we want to see a clear break above the 9, a close above the 9, and some support and some sideways consolidation above the 9 and some continuing liquidity into the market. If not, we are going to see another leg down on this. But so far, it is looking a little bit better than it was yesterday. Looking at ADA, we had this wedge that ADA broke out of. This one actually broke out right at the end of the apex. Nevertheless, it is looking a little bit better at the moment. A nice little turn of events here on this last hour. We had a bullish uptick on the MACD. RSI has a bullish uptick. Very little volume, however, and we are actually, technically, we're above the 9 EMA, but we did open below the 9 EMA right on the support line. So we do need to close here and hopefully continue to the upside. I would be looking at the 30 and the 50 for rejection points. We are setting up for a really nice double bottom here, nice W. And this is a really nice textbook double bottom where the left side of the double bottom is lower than the right side, indicating an upward trend. So this is the type of W pattern that we want to see, where the left side is lower than the right side. All right, guys. Well, you guys take care of yourself. For those in my Discord group, we will have a live Zoom session at 1 o'clock. So in about 4 hours or so, a little bit over 4 hours, we will have a Zoom session and another video at during the day when China opens. If we're going to be turning bullish, I'll have an update for you then. You guys have a wonderful day and trade safe.